Hello everyone and welcome to the Edmonds Racing Preview Show. We're back here at the Perch and the boys have got an extra spring in their step because they've had 3 winners from their past 5 runners and the footy's on and everything's going well, so apart from Manly that is. But
Manly not so well last night.
Let's recap the winners, fellas. Some really impressive performances. Boho Beauty went back-to-back for the strong bloodstock team and partners there. And potentially now onto the cutest jewel if qualifies.
Yeah, if she gets a run, yeah, we'll definitely run her. She was good the other day. I liked how she began okay. Couldn't quite, get up and lead. So Zach come back on her. Got a bit of pressure from inside and outside as well. She's in between horses there and pushed one out the road and was strong through the line. I thought she was pretty good. Looking like 1200 will suit and interesting to see how she fits in with that grade of horses. Another, it's a big step up, but big prize money. Got to have a crack at it, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Well done to you guys because you made the call. Obviously, you had the 2 options last week, and one was a bit, as you mentioned, a bit of a potentially a thrown in at the deep end. But so she progressed through the grades, and now I guess if you have a throw at the stumps in a big race like the Jewel, then why not?
Yeah. It's fortunate enough they put we would have had to run her in that other race if they had called this meeting off, and we're fortunate they moved it to the poly track at the Sunny Coast and they took the meeting on and everyone got to race for some prize money. So that was good. The cutest money's fantastic and everything's onwards and upwards now.
Yeah, very exciting for the ownership group. So well done there. And Trent, speaking of exciting, Jamaican Rumba, Shalar Colt, who went bang on debut during the week, and you guys have had an opinion of this fella, and obviously still a little bit green, working it all out, but good win.
Yeah, it was. Went from a couple off the fence to a couple off the outside fence up the running. I don't know, Robbie said he just spotted the gate.
Winning post.
Or the winning post, near the enclosure or whatever. So he started to jib out. He still won by a fair space, but it would have been a lot more visually impressive had he gone straight. Anyway, really nice colt with a bright future. We've, I think, spoken about him in pretty glowing terms for sort of the last 3 or 4 months anyway. As Dad said after the race the other day, he was basically our main hope for the Magic Millions, and he just had a tiny niggle. We had to stop on him, but that's fine. A little bit of patience never hurt anyone, and good colt, and it was great to kick him off in that regard. I thought Robbie done a really good job. Bit of toing and froing with Ryan having to be replaced after he come to grief in the race prior, but Robbie was a worthy substitute and got the job done nicely.
Yeah, very good. And what's next for the horse now?
Look, pretty quiet week. He'll be back under saddle Monday. There's a number of options. I think we're both of the opinion that it's great that he's got that good early speed, and when you're in the sort of lower grades, you can get away with that because you're better than them. But I would suggest that once he's in a higher grade of race with a lot more pressure, if he's able to draw a barrier, we can just come back and ride him a tiny bit more negative rather than punching him forward, and you'll see a much better horse and a much better performance. We've done all of his track work pretty exclusively sitting off horses and then joining in, and he's got a really good turn of acceleration. Nice colt, not really sure where we're going to go just yet. We'll just have a look at him for a week or so.
Okay, well, exciting to see what he does next start anyway. And then Burning Bell made it, 3 wins from the last 5 runners, won at start number 2 for the on-track Thoroughbreds team and their connections in pretty slick time.
Yeah, it goes to show what a good thing she was beaten first up. A bit wayward and a bit green. It's much the same as Jamaican Rumba was out there at Ipswich the other day. He was quite green as well. Anyway, she took good improvement from that run. The race experience was good. I'll give Andrew Mallion a plug. He filled in quickly, and he rode her beautifully. He made her begin, made her work a little bit, and then when he was going to get caught 3, just come back and give her a beautiful run. And she was just far too good. She's a progressive filly that's,
sort of blackjack boom mold, really.
Yeah, she
keeps improving.
She was a little plain early,
yeah.
Early as an early 2-year-old, and we were unsure whether she was really much good. But this time through, she's really, we've spoken about maturity and all that sort of stuff, and you can get rid of, you can form an opinion too early if you don't give them every chance, and she's one that fits into that mould. She's a very laid-back filly, much in the style of Mimi Lagarde. No stress whatsoever. She just walked around the saddling enclosure, ambled,
Like
she'd been there 40
ambled
times.
around, and it was a hot day, really hot day, 38 degrees nearly out there the other day, and she handled it so well. I'll give Grant Morgan a plug here. He bought her for 34,000 from Dan Dean Stud, a great breed of a horse, and I like her. You know, I think she's untapped really. You know, she's got good ability. She's another cutest horse. She's not going to fit into that duel right now. We're going to
Probably come a month too early, so.
Okay.
You know, if we would have been a run ahead, we'd have had a crack at that as well. But good filly, and look forward to her career, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, whichever way you go with all three, exciting times ahead with those three winners. And some big news during the week also. Vanna girl, you got the hat. You never take it off. You love her. But she's had to be retired. So I guess talk us through that decision and let's pay tribute to her career.
Well, I suppose money speaks all languages, doesn't it? She's going to be worth hopefully a pretty penny as a broodmare. And after having knee surgery after the Ballarat Cup, sort of what more was there left for her to do other than win a Group 1? But you always run that risk of, can she win one? Is she going to be sound enough to be trained up to the distances she needs to get to post knee op, and then timing as well. I know she obviously another year older in August, and broodmare sales and whatnot are sort of from Easter time all the way through to June. So managing owner John Robinson sort of had a chat to us both and suggested that it might be time to put her on the market and pull the pin. And, all the other owners agreed, basically, and that's what we're going to do. She's been great to us. I mean, $40,000 filly, won $500,000.
$500,000, yeah.
Awesome.
Nah, what a special horse, and obviously horse comes first, doesn't it? You know, as Trent's saying, whilst there might have been a chance to continue racing, that's in the best interest of the horse, and she can go and be a mum now.
Yeah. So, look, we've had both sales companies chasing her. Obviously, Magic Millions hot on the phone after the announcement yesterday. Inglis have been in the background. One of the owners actually works for Inglis, so and we bought her from Inglis. So I had a phone call from Adam White from Vanna. She's going to go through their draft, and she'll go down there and be prepped for. I think they're leaning towards a chairman sale at the moment, but that could change. So we've left it basically to Vanna, which way we go. So I think she's probably going to make as much at either sale, really. Now with people travelling around, there's going to be a lot more. I think this season, people are going to be on the ground to buy. She's a great style of a mare. Really attractive, big, leggy filly or mare now, and her pedigree, she can breed to anything, which is attractive. Hassan may just pull her back a bit, being by Hassan, but she's out of a Redoutes mare. So look, she could be worth a good quid.
Fair bit of money.
Great return and great return for the owners. We paid $40,000 for her at the
Classic sale.
at the classic sale a couple of years ago, and to be able to get a career to where it's got to and to enhance a value. It speaks all volumes. That's what it's all about, and that's one really good story.
COVID robbed us of an Oaks.
Yeah,
That was a sour point, but
Yep.
what do you do?
Group two winner, the Roses. Is that when you look back on her career, is that the most satisfying for you guys as trainers?
Or in her career?
Yeah,
Basically, well, that winter carnival, really.
she was on fire.
And that was the first sort of COVID year where the revamped carnival, and they squashed a couple of races and whatever. It was very good going to the races knowing that she was. It was a good feeling that I've never had before, going to the races knowing that she had them covered, if you know what I mean. Like, that sounds a bit big-headed, but every time she went around in that winter, she'd beaten all of the fillies before, she'd beaten the boys. Going to the races full of confidence, and she was just right in the zone. So, that was something that we'll look back on with really fond memories. Our family are in her. One thing I'm looking forward to is in her retirement is my cousin not smashing me about her 3 times a week. That's going to be good. Harry, if you're watching, thank you very much for your support. But it was amazing.
Passionate.
My word, he is.
You'll have to get Harry in the next Vanna girl.
It was an amazing ride, and yeah, very thankful to all of our owners, and awesome. Hopefully she throws a champ.
Yeah, well, what a champ she was, and so well done to everyone that was involved in that ride. And moving on to another champ or potential champ, Mimi Lagarde stepped out at the trials here yesterday.
Yeah.
Sort of, I guess, ticking her over after the rain. What did you make of the trial, and what are we thinking for her? You obviously mentioned Sydney.
Yeah, so she's going to the PJ Bell Plate. It's on the first day of the championships, I think. So that's first Saturday in April.
Yep.
So she's had that tick over trial yesterday. Track was very, very heavy, so we weren't too concerned about running second to something. I think got out and led by 100 yards, and she sits back and she made good ground. But seriously, it was heavy going yesterday. Like they normally wouldn't have trialled, I wouldn't have thought. But with the backlog of horses and everything, they were good enough to go around. And she was in trial 8, which the track was starting to get chopped up by then.
Yeah.
Robbie basically looked after her. We got what we wanted out of it with as far as fitness. That's what it's for, and all systems go towards the PJ Bell Plate now.
Okay, very good. And any others that caught the eye from the trials yesterday?
Yeah, look, we didn't have a bad session, to be fair. As Dad said, I didn't think they'd be on. It was that heavy. A couple of the babies were good, which we hadn't sort of screwed right down.
It was a little better than ready.
Yeah, little.
What's he called? Clover's Prince.
Clover's Prince.
Terrible name
for the lucky for the lucky Clover guys.
No offence, guys.
But he surprised yesterday. He'd only been sort of going through the motions, and I think we saw Cameron and Kelly Bond, who bred him at the sales in January. They retained a slice of him. Said, "Oh, how's he going?" And said, "Oh, he probably needs to improve a bit." And I think Dad was a little less complimentary, but he has improved a stack. He's a very fast horse, and it was good to see him. With them fast horses, you wonder, is he a quarter horse, or how far is he going to get? But I know it was only a trial, but he still powered away over the 1,000, and it was extremely heavy. So he done a good job. The other 2-year-old we trialled, Caesar Cake.
She was good.
She's a very gross doing Scissor Kick filly that Dennis Chan, All Winners Thoroughbreds, paid a fair bit of money for. She continues to improve too. So they're a couple to watch in the coming sort of month, 6 weeks.
Good judge, Dennis Chan.
She's turned into a really lovely filly. Yeah. Good style of a filly.
Paid a bit of money for her. She's for a Scissor Kick paid 300 or 1,000 for her, and she's got a fair bit of quality about her. She looks good, and I think she's quite sharp. But once again, Robbie trialled her and just give her an easy time. Really, she won the trial, but not under much pressure
just
at all.
Education
type trial.
Okay, well, there's two to follow for the people out there. So, in lieu of, I guess there's not much racing on this weekend. You might struggle for a best bet, so maybe it could be follow those guys later on into their racing preps or something.
Yeah,
and the next Wednesday.
Over
tip preach, eh? How's that?
Just hold off till next Wednesday. But it's good to see some of our 2-year-olds start to come out of the woodworks now. Around Magic Millions time, we were sort of dragging our knuckles on the ground because I think for the last 5 years have had runners in the 2-year-old race.
Yep.
And when we didn't have anything ready, we were sort of like, what have we done wrong? What do we, have we got anything that's pretty smart and whatever? But it's really good to see them a couple of months down the track start to progress and jump out of the ground. So follow for the next couple of months. It's going to be a good period of time, I feel.
You can have a run like that though. Every 2-year-old, and we've bought a lot over the last couple of years. They're not all precocious early running things. You've got to be a bit patient. Sometimes, yes, it's a bit frustrating. Like Jamaican Rumba, for instance, he all he did was strain a
muscle twinge in behind.
Yeah, muscle twinge in behind, like a hamstring, and he was just too sore to go on with, and we just had to stop on him, and it was just enough to have to pull the pin on the prep, and everyone was quite disappointed, as we were, but. The patience and everything will do that horse the world of good. I think he's a really good colt. Trent's already touched on him a bit, and he's 1,000,000% right. Sometimes I find, the horse we have an opinion of, they all draw poorly at the first start, and you've got to really ride them forward, and it can bugger them up sometimes as far as teaching them how to race. I just hope now he's had that burn out of the barrier race day that he's not going to be a horse that wants to run and get on with it too much. I think he'll come back as long as there's a good tempo and we can get him back in behind him. He'll show a really good turn of foot. But sometimes I think the same thing happened with Hootson, didn't it? When we had her, he began like Hootson on Wednesday. Actually flew the leads. I think when she had a first start, we had to really.
She drew softer first start, but it was sort of
Yeah, but she was too
too
good
much
for him.
too much gate speed and whatnot.
All the career then was basically on speed.
On speed, yeah.
When she do 21 or something in the Magic Man, she couldn't do nothing but get on speed. Really rev her up.
All the rest is history.
Yes. Anyway, we'll see how far this colt gets. He's got his pedigree's okay, and he's got a really
Good motor.
Yeah, he's pretty good nature.
Yeah.
And really stunning looking colt. So hopefully he's good.
Yeah, well, as you're saying, hopefully the patience that you guys have shown with the whole crop can be rewarded down the track. Speaking of on the track, let's get into the preview. As we mentioned, a bit light on, but our Coney makes his second up appearance at the Sunshine Coast tonight in a Class 2 over 11.10. Drawn wide in barrier 12, Robbie Frad to ride. And what do we make of his first up effort?
First up, way too fresh, and never. He's an absolute duffer first up as well. Forget that basically. He just railed through and pulled himself into the ground. Interestingly enough, he's won on a poly track in Victoria when he was trained down there, so hence the reason we're going. Needs to switch off early, get a bit of cover, even if he's 3 wide line in the run. Get a bit of cover early to allow him to switch off and then get down the middle of the track. He'll run an improved race. I just wish he drew a bit softer.
Okay. Oh, well, look for improvement there with him. Good luck to Connections. And then Tobe Zumanji's the other weekend runner, lining up in a Class 2 handicap over 1200. And she was last up winner on the heavy here.
Yeah, she was. It's going to be pretty heavy tomorrow too, I think. Just had rain again overnight, and as we mentioned about the trials, the trial track was very heavy the other day, and this track, it's going to be a bit the same, I think. So good to see she's won on that track here the other day when it was quite heavy.
That was bottomless the other day.
So it was bottomless. So it gives us confidence going in. She's drawn awkwardly. Going to find the right part of the track with Callow on it, and she'll run pretty good. I wouldn't say she's a good thing, but she's very, very honest and tries hard, and she'll give her best.
Okay. Well, they're the two runners. Obviously a bit light on for options for a best bet. You need to go further afield into a different code, or did you allude to it earlier with Wednesday's runner?
I think
just wait for Wednesday.
I think Preach will belt them again. I hope.
Preach on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. There's the best bet.
That's it.
Patience rewarded for those that wait till Wednesday.
Correct.
All right. Well, that's the wrap. Good luck to everyone over the weekend.
Thank you.
All the best. Thank you.